Hey everyone, Eric here from Hook and Arrow North, and today we are going to build and go over part 1 of our 2026 hunting arrow. Today we'll be building some Easton 5.0 5mm arrows, and today we are going to go over straightness. We're going to be spin testing each one to see which one side has the most wobble and which side that we should cut. We will then be squaring the ends, both factory and the side that we cut, to make sure that the both knock and broadhead side are perfectly flush. We will also be then installing our Easton hit inserts, 75 grain. We'll be installing those, going over measuring the component weights and getting these as close to the same as we possibly can. If something like this interests you, stick along. Alright guys, the first part of this process is measuring the straightness of the arrows. Now, I'll get these out of here real quick. Now I only have 9 shafts because I already pre-made some decap arrows which require to be full length. So we'll be making 9 arrows. So first part we start with is the spin test. Now you just look on each end to make sure which one is good. If none of them have any wobble, I always just mark the end from the furthest from the label. What I use is I mark it with a silver Sharpie, just to know that is the end that needs to get cut. Now, if it would happen to be on this end that needs to get cut, since my arrow, I have a pretty long draw length, so I'm only going to be cutting about 3.5 inches off. I would still cut it off this end. The label doesn't really mean anything to me. So what I will be doing is spin testing each and every one of these and finding out which one that should get cut. What's nice about these Eastons is that they are pretty dang straight right out of the box. These are so far been money. So I will get these done quick and we will move on to the next step. Now here is an example of one side that's a little bit more crooked than the rest. It's not much, but it's enough. So this is why we do it. Because if you'd actually put a broadhead on there and extend it all out, it actually just gets worse the longer you go with it. So this is why we do this. Alright guys, after we got done cutting and doing all that, now is squaring off. Like as I said before, I like to square off both ends to make sure that the knock end and the broadhead or field tip end are at least square. And the easiest way I like to do this, just taking this silver Sharpie, marking the ends as so. I don't know if that'll focus or not. And you just take it, rub it the same way until there's no silver. Now we just repeat this process for every single one of them. And with these mod saws, they also come with replacement pieces of sandpaper. I mean, as you can see, this is more towards the bottom end of the sandpaper, so we probably just have to turn that around and get a few more uses out of it. But yeah, pretty simple, very effective, much more accurate. So we will finish these off. And we will go into weighing them. after I get done squaring the ends off, I like to just get any extra carbon out of there. The next thing I like to do is I like to rough up the inside on where the insert is going to be going, just to help that glue stick to the surface. So I just take a little wire brush like this, just go in a little bit, call her good. I'll do this to all of them, and then we will get going to weighing these arrows and seeing how close they actually are. Off to weigh, what I've been using is this October Mountain scale. It's been pretty nice, very affordable, very easy to use. So what I will be doing is taking each one of these arrows and separating them into weights and writing them down . 257.8. And I will just go ahead and do these with every arrow. See, here we got 258.4. $258.4. We will just keep doing this until we were done. All right, the last one we got here, 257.8. All but two are the exact same. That's pretty crazy. That's why sometimes it pays. Get what you pay for. Premium arrows, premium results. So it looks like arrow 2 and 3 are the heaviest ones. So we will go from there. The next thing we'll be doing is weighing out these inserts. They're supposed to be 75. You can break a half off to make it 50, but I like the FOC, so I am going to stick with the 75, and we will see how close these are. And we will put them on this sheet of paper. .4. We will continue to do this until we have these all weighed out. 75. Last one. 75. Every single one is 75 right on the dot. Like I said, premium components are worth the money. All right, well, since those are all the same, we can put them in every single arrow. They give you this arrow chamfer before you do that, so we will be taking these. Do that. these, clean them out, and start gluing hit inserts. Alright guys, we got them all scored out, chamfered, and next is cleaning the shafts. So what we do is we take Q-tips, some acetone, and simply wet it down and clean the inside of your shafts. The stuff dries really quickly, so you don't have to worry about waiting so long to do it. So we'll just do these to every single one, front and back, and go from there. Alright guys, after we got done chamfering them and scoring them with the pipe cleaner, I quick cleaned the shafts out with Q-tips and acetone to make sure there wasn't any carbon in there, because believe me, there was plenty of carbon left in there. You'd be surprised. So next, with these hit inserts, I'm not going to be using epoxy. I'm going to be using this Easton Quick Bond insert adhesive, and hope for the best. I've only used this on the factory half outs it comes with when I built my other turkey arrows, but yeah, right now we are going to put these in. So how you do this is you take these, put these on. I'm going to put a little glue. Take the arrow, spin it as you go. Make sure you get around the whole thing. You're going to push it all the way. Now, I'm going to leave this sit for at least 15 20 seconds, or maybe even a little more, just to make sure that it's in and it doesn't. Now I like to do this with the knocks out, because sometimes I have noticed that it will create pressure and want to push out if that side is blocked. So I tend to do it without the knocks in, and they tend to stay in a little bit further. Now when this is done, I like to take a field point and screw it in and make sure that it is flush, because if it is not, we have to push it in. This has a 30-minute dry time, so not too long. And I think we got a good set. You can take a paper towel, or in this case, a rag, and wipe any excess glue, and we will continue on. Sometimes you can bring it out too and just redo it, make sure it's all coated in there. I will do these to the rest of them, and I will see you at the end. Alright guys, we just installed our last hit insert. They all went in pretty smooth. They all stayed in. I'm going to go check a few here that I did in the beginning and make sure that none did slip on up. Good there. Well, that concludes part one of our arrow build. Today we learned on what side that we need to cut, cutting, squaring up both ends, installing inserts, and yeah. Step 2, we will be wrapping, fletching, and installing nocks. So, hope you enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you next time.